A new show is taking over CBS All Access. Think of it as a mystery. $1 is set in a small Rust Belt town where a $1 bill changing hands connects a group of characters involved in a shocking multiple murder. Joining us now is one of the lead actresses in the show, Kirli Berger. Welcome. I want to welcome you today. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Okay, firstly, I love your name. You don't usually hear a name like that. So tell us just the origin of that name.
Yeah, so I'm actually Australian-American. My mom is Australian, and I'm a dual citizen of both the U.S. and Australia, and my name is actually an Aboriginal name.
Oh, wow.
And the name Kirli in Aboriginal mythology, Kirli was the fire of the universe, and the word Kirli in the Aboriginal name, Aboriginal language actually means like of the phoenix, reborn.
Wow. Well, talk about lighting it up. I think you certainly are doing this. Talk to us about this show, $1. I mean, it sounds so incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Would you say it is a thriller? We were talking about this beforehand.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about this show is our genius director Craig Zobel kind of describes the show as like a game of tetherball. So the pole in the center is the anchor is the murder mystery, but then the ball and the string that wraps around are all of these little tiny subplots and sub stories that really represent the issues that are going on in America. So we're talking about racism, we're talking about economic inequality, we're talking about love, we're talking about family, we're talking about gentrification, things that are real issues happening today.
Happening today in this day and age. Is it set in present time?
It is. It's actually set right now over the summer of 2018.
Wow. And tell us about your character.
Yeah, so my character, Danielle Furlby, is the daughter of Wilson Furlby, played by the absolutely just incomparable Greg German.
Wow.
And he is the richest man in the town of Braden, and he is really on the forefront of the gentrification. So he's a developer. He's knocking down mom and pop shops and building condominiums. And Danielle is really smart. She was her high school valedictorian. She's an incoming student at Michigan, champion tennis player. But on the night of this multiple murder, she sees something she shouldn't have. And her curiosity feeds itself and feeds itself, and she embarks on this incredible journey that could put her whole life at risk.
As you take on a role like this, is this something that you have to research, or do you feel like parts of you almost can connect with her?
I think it's a little bit of both. I certainly did quite a lot of research. Danielle and I have very different backgrounds. You know, both of my parents are artists. We had what we needed and, you know, not much more, but we were so grateful to be all doing what we love. However, Danielle comes from this, you know, place of mega wealth. When I started the show, I didn't even actually know what a country club was. I'd heard of it, but I didn't really know what people did there. And I also did a lot of research on the psychological strain that comes along with wealth, so I could better understand Danielle's family dynamic. But I think there's also a lot of parts of myself that I've sort of injected into Danielle.
You know, I think we should point out, you're 19 years old, and the only reason I say your age is because you are so incredibly poised.
Thank
and you
you.
seem so wise beyond your years. How do you think you are who you are? What made you able to do a role like this and to just be you?
I think life and fate will guide you. You know, I started in this business very young, and I've also had a lot of battles and struggles with my health throughout my life, and I think those struggles with my health, and I live with a really common illness called endometriosis. 1 in 10 women have it. And throughout that journey, throughout that process, I realized, you know, life is so short. You have to take every opportunity you have and never take a moment for granted, because you never know when your life can change. And I think that's also part of what the show is talking about with $1. You can have everything one day and it be gone the next.
Oh gosh, such a good lesson for all of us. Tell us where people can watch the show.
$1 is available for streaming. Episode 1 is available right now on CBS All Access.
And you're still streaming, you're still working on future shows, correct? You're still in the process of production.
We are still filming the last 2 episodes right now, yeah.
So exciting.
Yes.
And give us a little bit of your background, just so we know. I know that you have gotten a few great roles, even at a young age. So talk to us about what you've done in the past to lead up to this point.
Yeah, so I started out in musical theater. I did the Broadway National Tour of Mary Poppins at only 9 years old. I was actually the youngest person to ever play the role of Jane Banks. And then when I was 11 years old, I played Susan Parks on the Broadway National Tour of Billy Elliot. And prior to this, I was in 3 seasons of Just Add Magic on Amazon Prime, as well as the Who Was show on Netflix and Cased Undercover on the Disney Channel.
Kirli, do you ever step back and think, I cannot believe this is my life?
Absolutely. Every single day. It is such a blessing, and I I try my best not to take a single moment for granted.
Well, I cannot wait to see the show. And so, any twists and turns that we should be aware of, or any little secrets you can give away?
I think the audience may be rooting for not only Danielle, but another special someone.
Oh.
I know. So there could be some shipping in the future, I think.
Oh,
So I'm very intrigued to see what
Yes.
people think about that. I'm so excited for people to follow Danielle's journey.
I am as well. Thank you so much. $1 is on All Access, as Carolee just explained to us, on CBS. It's a streaming service. You can easily find it on your phones through the app.